Hi everyone, Chillax here and welcome back to another Anchor Panic video. So as you can see before you, Frost Jade has finally arrived for version 1.7 global server, and we have a lot to talk about today. The purpose of today's video will be to discuss the value that she brings to your account, as well as how exactly to build her. And I will have timestamps along the way, so make sure to jump around if you're looking for any particular piece of information. Without further ado, let's begin. First, I want to touch on whether or not to pull or pass on her. You should definitely pull on her for a number of reasons. One is that she is a limited time operator, which means that in 3 weeks time, when her banner leaves, you will not be able to summon for her or her signature sigil again, or even fail the 50-50 on her or her sigil until she reruns, which historically for the CN server has been once every 6 months. I don't know if you guys want to wait that long, probably not. Definitely snag at least one copy of her as well as her signature sigil before this event ends. And it's very doable even if you're a free-to-play player. On my alt account, which is free-to-play, I was able to secure one copy of her and her signature sigil with relative ease, even after failing the first pity. Yeah, it's very doable. And she's also the 4th healer in this game that we've ever acquired, and she is one of the better healers out there. I would say she's like a Strain 2.0, although Strain still is better than Frost Jade for the PvE side. However, Frost Jade can be used more effectively in PvP than Strain can. And she also enables the Ice element team archetype. Now, with regards to her kit, let me briefly go over this. So her kit revolves around her ability to provide consistent heals in 3 different ways, as well as some offensive buffs and even some revival mechanics that make her valuable for any team. First, going over her talent 1, when present, grants all allies skill restoration effects in which they restore HP equal to 60% of Frost Jade's attack when using normal attacks or skills. The effect increases by 40% for same element operators. This is very good. You know, for other operators like Echo or Grenache who are able to provide allies some passive heals whenever they act, Frost Jade does the same thing. And because these passive HP restoration procs activate with either normal attacks or skills, this is interesting because it allows essentially your allies to heal twice every time they move. And it's very baby heals. It's like 2.8k heals, but it's twice, right? And if you combo Frost Jade with follow-up attackers like Ukali, Dwalin, Rose, Tia, they will heal every time they do a follow-up attack. So it's very possible you can top up the HP of those DPSs. So there's some really cool synergies, and actually even for Abyss Elysia there's synergy, because when Abyss Elysia revives, if say she revives below 50% HP, right? Because sometimes she can, when she revive, come with say 30% HP. Well, thanks to these passive heals, she can get above 50% HP, so that when she dips below again, she will get the extra 50% pre-filled energy and burst. So this is a way to further add consistency to turn by turn back-to-back energy bursts by Abyss Elysia. Yeah, so very cool synergies that you can have with her. That's just her talent 1. Talent 2, at the start of battle, grants all allies 1 stack of Blessing Effect, which is an attack increase of 7.5%, up to 3 stacks. Each Blessing stack also grants 10% crit damage boost for same element operators. Later on at the end of the video, when I show you a PvP match, you will be astonished by how much more damage Ukali does. It's pretty scary. Yeah, and the energy burst, her energy burst, I believe, grants all other allies 1 additional stack. Yeah, so at the start of battle you get this blessing, and then you can get more stacks up to 3 every time she energy bursts. And just hopping over briefly to her signature sigil, if you have her signature sigil where she's able to energy burst on turn 1, potentially, then that will proc this skill even more. Like, you essentially have, by the end of turn 1, 20% crit damage boost for your ice operators, as well as, you know, 15% additional attack. Yes, this can make any ice operator a DPS, which is quite nice to see. Now for her skill, this is her second way to heal all allies. It's an AoE heal that for same element operators, including herself, applies a shield that scales off of 80% of that base heal amount, lasting for 2 turns. So this skill was both buff and nerfed from the transition from CN server to global server. Originally for the CN server, this AoE shield was applied for all element operators, not just ice. However, the shield only lasted 1 turn, whereas on global, this shield only applies to ice operators but lasts for 2 turns. So I thought that was kind of interesting, although her skill also buffed the crit damage of ice element operators, so you know, it sucks that that's not there anymore, but she's still a very powerful offensive and defensive healer. And then her energy burst restores allies HP, scaling off of her attack once again, and most importantly activates the frost domain, in which when an ally in the domain would take lethal damage, she becomes immune to it and enters a frozen state, taking 0 damage for the rest of the turn. This is more broken than I thought, because as we'll see in the arena replay later, when my Quasar died holding the front lane, she entered a frozen state, was at 0% HP, but she was still holding down the front lane, which is so important against opposing Abyssaleicias, because typically what will happen is if Abyssalecia, say like energy bursts on turn 1, KOs your front row unit, and then like proceeds to maul down the squishy DPS that was right behind that defender, Abyssalecia cannot do that anymore because with Frost Jade present, because Frost Jade, even if the ally dies, they enter the frozen state, right? While they are in the process of reviving, they still hold down the fort. I think that is so cool. And then frozen allies additionally gain 8% of Frost Jade's attack as bonus attack and become immune to frozen for 3 turns. For 2 turns. So the 8% attack boost is for 2 turns, and the frozen immunity is for 3 turns. Yes. So, mind you, what's really interesting is that I originally thought that Frost Jade could only revive twice per battle, but she can actually revive if you have her A3, but she can revive more than 2 times, like the allies, so long as she's still present on the field with the frost domain. Because let's say, you know, the enemy picks up a KO on you on round 1, say with like an Abyssalecia burst, right? And then the battle goes on for, you know, 3 more turns, because let's say like your Lang Jiao freezes a couple key enemies on round 2, then you stabilize by the end of round 2, then it's round 3, right? And maybe you've picked up a couple KOs, but you're facing a lightning team, so Abyssalecia, you know, is the Spectre who can always come back. If the Abyssalecia, if you go to round 4 or 5, the Abyssalecia picks up another KO, you know, by that time this clause will have expired, and now those allies can re-enter a frozen state to revive. So very cool. implications in both PvP as well as PvE. Okay, so now that we've gone over the skills, let's go over the Sigil next. So her Sigil grants base attack, which helps her with her healing since it scales off of attack. She increases self-healing on targets with HP below 50% by 15%. So this is a way to provide additional emergency healing potency for allies in the red. And when she releases an energy burst, her attack increases by 5% until the end of battle up to 2 stacks. This was nerfed slightly from the CN side because it used to be up to 4 stacks, but I think it's okay. When equipped by Frost Jade, the first turn has a 70% chance of gaining 50% energy recharge. So this is why I say you should get her signature Sigil, because it allows you your Frost Jade to energy burst on turn 1. And if you have a fast enough Frost Jade able to energy burst before the enemy starts to move and potentially pick up KOs on your side, you can cheat death as early as round 1. And when the frozen targets thaw, additionally gains a shield equivalent to Frost Jade's attack of 100% and 50% energy recharge. This shield, I presume, applies to her when her allies thaw. And then, yeah, she will get an additional attack boost. Oh, no. She will get the shield, and then she will have 50% energy recharge to do another AoE heal. Yeah, so it's a very good signature Sigil. Okay, so now let's go over the Empower stats to look for while we're on this page. So I would say that Fish for speed, you need speed. Get healing boost, because her heals, she's not like Strain where she has excellent single target heals. She's more of a heal everybody all the time in 3 different ways kind of deals. So if you really want bursty heals, you're probably going to want healing boost on her signature Sigil. And then for the final stat, I would say like HP, defense, or even shield strength. These are all fine. It seems to be the consensus is that HP is the way to go if you can get that, but if you get defense, it's alright. Yeah, so those 5. And then with regards to the model sets, so there's 3 different model sets that I recommend, actually 4, depending on what you're trying to achieve. If you're looking for a more defensive all-purpose Sigil set that will allow her to have some attack damage output boosting potential in PvE, then I think 4-piece Raging Wave will make a lot of sense. Her base speed is not as high as, say, like an Echo or Turn, so having the extra 4% speed will allow her to have a chance to outspeed an opposing Turn or Echo, or at worst, their DPS. And then 4-piece Raging Wave will make it so that every time she casts a skill, she grants all allies a resonance stack up to 3 stacks, which is a stack that boosts attack by 2.5% and defense by 4%. So this allows your allies to turtle up, as well as to have more healing potency, as well as damage output. So you'll notice that for Union Siege teams, a lot of players now will opt for 4-piece Raging Wave. I will touch on that topic in a future video. And then for the secondary stat, if you want to go like hyper into Union Siege potential, damage output potential, you're going to go 2-piece attack boost here. That's the orange one with the downward swords, this one. And the reason for that is because it boosts her healing, and it also slightly increases her damage output. Yeah, because I don't think any of her attack buffs scale off of her attack. So I don't think the attack boost is as important, in my opinion, than say like an HP boost or a block chance boost to make sure that Jade doesn't go down, right? Because if Jade goes down, the Frost domain goes down, and you lose out on a ton of like defensive heals and offensive buffs. So I would say 4-piece Raging Wave, 2-piece HP, 4-piece Raging Wave, 2-piece attack boost are the best, followed by 4-piece Raging Wave, 2-piece attack boost, and then followed by, if you need your Frost Jade to hold down the fort in the front or the back, like let's say in a mono ice team where we don't have Plenilune the ice defender yet, then I think it makes sense to go 4-piece block rate, 2-piece speed. Yeah, because you still want her to be somewhat fast. And then you could also go for 4-piece block rate, 2-piece HP. Just make sure that regardless of the model set, that you are going speed on model 6, that you're going attack on speed on model 4, attack on model 6, right, to further enhance her healing potential. And then for this 5th slot, if you were to ask Kwa Sensei or Dominica, who are CN players, they would recommend base attack for more healing potential. But in my opinion, because I'm going to be using Frost Jade a lot in PvP, I think base HP makes a lot of sense. Personally, I go with speed, base HP, and attack, but there's also merit to going speed, base attack, attack, if you're not worried about Frost Jade dying, and if you want burstier heals. So those are your options there. And for remodel effects, in terms of priority, it's going to be 6 out of 6 speed first, this line. Once you have that, make sure you get 5 out of 5 block chance. Then after that, I think the other stats, it really depends. Obviously, HP percent or HP are going to help with her survivability, but if you want burstier heals, then attack, base attack will be very helpful as well. In terms of which of these stats to go for, from a healing perspective, base attack, according to Kwa and Dominica, I think base attack provides more heals than standard attack. And then for HP percent does more than flat HP. This is pretty standard across different gacha games. And as for shield strength, I think for right now shield strength is not really necessary. However, once we get Plenilune in the near future, which I anticipate she will arrive in about 2 months or so, then I think you may reconsider and having 5 out of 5 shield strength here. I'm not done with the remodels yet. I may just preemptively get 5 out of 5 shield strength in preparation for more really solid ice operators that will be released down the road. And if you want to know who those ice operators are, you can check out my other videos on Plenilune, Gleam, Adonye. I have a full kit overview on each of those unreleased CN operators. Okay, let's go over Stellaron briefly. Now, Stellaron is a system that was released with this version update where you can consume these resonance bottles in order to pick up additional stats like defense, HP, get an extra level up for a skill, and then usually you pick one of 2 paths because, as you can see, the resource cost skyrockets from 4 all the way to 16 to 24 to 40. For free-to-play players, I think it'll probably take you a couple months to even reach here. For me, I'm not a free-to-play player, and I haven't even reached this yet. So I would advise for free-to-play players, if you pick up any of these resources, like say from an event store, I would dump them all towards Frost Jade first, because of all the ice element operators, Frost Jade is the most valuable of that element, even more than Lang Zhao in my opinion. So for this reason, I would say, for this event you're going to get 10 for free. I would just go ahead and level these two up, no regret. And then when the entropy comes out, you can spend the entropy crystals to acquire more of these to pick up this, and then from there you'll probably realize how expensive this is, and then really have to pick a side. I would recommend going this direction for two reasons. One is because obviously you pick up attack along the way, but you also pick up attack along the way this way as well. But more importantly, you get the speed bonus, which is not present on this side. It's only on this side. And I value speed quite a bit. So I would go this way. And I think at that point you can either stop or you can keep going to here. Because her talent 1 is allows her to provide passive healing whenever an ally does a normal attack or a skill. I think it's very powerful. Passive healing is really nice, particularly in Union Siege against a boss that does reflect damage. It keeps your allies alive, and Frost Jade is the alternative to Grenache essentially against those problematic enemies. So I think it makes a lot of sense, like if you're going all in on Frost Jade, which respect to you, I think she deserves it. I think there is merit to keep going even as a free-to-play player. It'll probably take you at least half a year, maybe like a full year to reach here, but I think it could still be well worth it, because I think Frost Jade will still be viable a year from now. So that's Stellaron for you. And then for Arena PvP, I'm going to show you my advanced arena modification here. So for those of you guys who watched my version 1.6 advanced arena team, you will know that originally I had my Lang Jiao here and my Strain here. But the problem with this was that Strain was not really delivering much value to my team, right? Because she doesn't apply shields for my allies. Yes, she applies offensive buffs, but survivability is more of an issue in PvP in my opinion. So now with the introduction of Frost Jade, she has really boosted up the turtle comp potential of the ice element team. What I mean by that is, as you guys know, Frost Jade's skill applies a shield to all ice operators. Additionally, with her signature Sigil, she can have a 70% chance to energy burst on turn 1, which allows her to allow one ally to basically, instead of dying, enter a frozen state, still be present on the battlefield, so if anyone else hits that lane, they're holding down the fort. So if, say, Abyss Elysia was present here, picks up a KO on Lang Jiao, Lang Jiao enters the frozen state, assuming that Frost Domain is up, so assuming I bursted on turn 1, right, with Frost Jade, Lang Jiao will still hold down the fort. Abyss Elysia still can't proceed to hit my Frost Jade. It's very powerful, and you'll also notice that my Ukali will do way more damage. So essentially you have double defender Antelope, who at A6 is able to provide an AoE shield on turn 1, along with Quasar, who's able to provide damage reduction, crit buffs, and what else? And also absorb some damage. I think about like 28 to 30% damage taken by other allies. Quasar will take it instead. Quasar will go down in this replay that I'm about to show you. However, she will enter a frost state and the enemy won't be able to hit Ukali, because when Quasar enters a frost state and is in the process of reviving the following turn, she will remain on the battlefield and remain at 0% HP, taking more hits. Dude, Frost Jade is insane. And then of course you have your DPS, Ukali, who, like I mentioned before, like there will be a point in time where Ukali will dip to 20% HP, but because she heals herself from Frost Jade's first passive every time she does a follow-up attack, or a normal attack, or a skill, Ukali ends up healing to full health quite easily by round 3. Yes, and then of course Lang Jiao is going to be slowing down the enemies as well as freezing them. So yeah, let's go ahead and do the showcase right now. And this is against my guildmate. I'm sorry, my man. But you know what's cool actually is like I would have lost traditionally against Sinwetso because one of my stronger teams actually lost against his Abyssalicia team. However, because my throwaway team got significantly stronger, it even took down his second best team, right? Because Quantum is arguably better than this ice hybrid right now. So let's go ahead and do the replay. Very excited to show you guys this. Okay, so I'll kind of slow this down a little bit just to paint a picture of what's going on. Now, okay, so both of our antelopes will proc their AoE shield on round 1. His turn will move first, and then my Lang Jiao will move second. So now my Lang Jiao slowed down the enemies, applying some freezing stacks. Okay, that's the passive heal. This is the skill. And with the signature Sigil, she energy bursts. And there was a second heal on top of that, because from the skill. Yeah, so notice that, yeah, my Quasar healed twice from Jade's first passive. His Tia moves, activating the Dark Void. So we're going to be taking passive follow-up attack damage. My Ukali goes. She at this point has already 2 stacks of the resonance buff. Okay, yeah, see how low my Ukali's is HP wise. Okay, we're trading blows now. The exciting part hasn't started yet. Yeah, look how low HP my Ukali gets, but towards the end she will top up to full HP. Okay, so now we're on round 2. His turn moves again. Applies offensive and speed buffs to the team. Now my Lang Jiao moves. Now the freeze is going to be very critical. Let's see how many freezes we get. And we're still slowing the enemies down. Okay, we froze everyone except Antelope because I'm on 4-piece of the precision. Okay. Now because we energy bursted on turn 1, we don't get the energy burst on turn 2. We triggered Flicker's self-revival. Okay, Quasar is dead, but she's still holding down the fort. You see, she's encased in ice. Okay, now my Ukali goes. She's healing every time she does a normal attack, skill, follow-up attack, she's still healing. Now she ults. She's going to do another follow-up attack. She's healing all along the way. She's back to full health, guys, thanks to Frost Jade's first passive. Or almost full health. Okay, so at this point we're stabilizing, but notice how much damage my Lang Jiao is doing now that, you know, we have 3 stacks of the attack and crit damage boost from Frost Jade. Because we're on round 3 right now. The energy burst again, we've stabilized, very solid team. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up. So what do I think of Frost Jade overall? I think she's an excellent addition to the global server. I know she was nerfed a little bit during her transition here, but she is still a very solid operator who I think you should all pick up. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.